Okay. Okie dokie. This is probably a keepable hand. So for those of you who watch this VOD later, because I think right now there's no one quite on stream yet because I'm going hot, super live into the game. Yeah, we will keep this. This is someone's Ixaron's custom built Singleton cube. We are playing we are playing 30 card deck minimums. So playing and only playing to 6 points. Go HQ RD your remote. And so there's also a couple of starters and stuff in all these decks, but just broadly, corpse side, I am trying to play a tag and bag deck. I have mid seasons. What do I have? Jesus, this deck is weird. So we'll pull this deck up. Maybe I should make a screenshot so I can have this on the side of the screen. I'll grab this for a second. Okay. I'll even have it for myself, which is maybe handy. We're just playing hard-hitting news, mid-seasons, and I think Econ is bad enough that I might give the Izzy 4 cards, and I can get punished here. But Econ's a little bit limited. Let's see. There's a world where I get really punished here, but I do not, which is great. They did make their money back, so I've probably come out a bit behind here. This is the downside of letting them draw, but credits are pretty valuable and limited. But then again, so are cards. So honestly, this is probably a mistake. But oh, and of course, this is the one person's. I'm up against the one person with Amakua. That's unfortunate. I think I read this urban renewal. We're gonna draw. We're gonna draw, and we're going to just put this down naked in a remote. And AZ's got to pick their battles here. What did they discard here? Flip switch makes a lot of sense. I really would like them to not keep running HQ. I probably will have to res the Masvingo here. But mostly I'm just trying to wait things out and get to game plan. Tour guide is sort of my payoff. Let me see, actually. You know what? Let's go and grab... See if I can find if I have something up. Looks like I don't. Oh, that's a real bummer. Yeah, losing this commercial bankers group is a big deal, and I have literally 0 recursion, which is a pain. But I'm surprised they're even thinking this long about this. I think they're maybe deciding if they want to go back and get a second counter. That would be what I assume they're thinking about. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. We're just going to click for 2 credits and hedge fund here. We didn't draw any of the threats to go with urban renewal, which might have been an argument for delaying it. I should have a... oh, fuck that noise. This card doesn't belong in the cube. I guess we can stop it, which is okay. So we will just have to put this on archives, which is an expensive ass card to put on archives. And then keep drawing. SIU is a nice little card for us. Add that in. There we are. Okay, so this is my corp list. And fiddle with this. Yeah, turtle is going to completely ruin my game plan. Um, oop, that's not what I'm supposed to be cropping. Just absolutely destroy me. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of purging. Except that it doesn't actually do anything because I'm gonna be playing open assets. So do I pay? I think I probably res this, and then I purge, and we just keep doing this nonsense. And that's the way this game's gonna work until I yeah, Temujin Amakua ending up in the same deck is pretty bad for me. For me in this matchup. I don't actually understand why Temujin is in the cube. It seems kind of absolutely wild to me. I'm not too scared of this. Obviously, the Hades I'm not a big fan of. I'll res this, and then my next turn's gonna be. I can actually still purge anyway, I think. And they get the Hades. So there is a real world where I just lose pretty soon, because we're playing to 6 points rather than 7, which I just feel like is a mistake. I still do. Okay, well that would have been nice. That's a real way of scoring agendas in the stack. I think I'm okay to purge here. It's going to take them It's going to take them the full turn just to get up to strength on the Amakua. Having one more credit would be nice, but I'm not under a ton of time pressure here. But yeah, definitely not loving how this started out, and this is definitely an argument for the Wildcat. I should have just given Izzy the credits, because if it takes them 2 extra turns to find this, it's a very different game. So they should probably run. Yeah, they're doing exactly the right thing. They're getting Amakua to 2. That way they can run stuff twice and be okay. This is a very nice card for me. Hey, Simply the Onion. It went okay. I think this Corp deck. So this is a Singleton. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're going to move this. Actually, hold on. Can I do a group select? Move both of these up. I have no reses I need to make here. This is a Singleton draft, so it's a bit of a weird format to me. I signed up for it and then saw that the card pool was Singleton, and that's fine. It's not I think my favorite way to draft, but yeah, don't draft asset spam. I had like Mumba Temple really early, and it seemed like a very good enabler. But Temujin does kind of turn that off quite a bit. I have nothing I actually need to res right here. I'm not going to res the Lady Liberty, I think. I could, but I don't think I want to. Oh, okay, now I have something to res. It's a little annoying I drew this now, but I think I'm going to spend the time to purge. I'm just kind of waiting for... Like, I'm a little bit light on econ on this list. Is pretty queer. Yeah, I don't know how... Like, these cards absolutely blow up the format, I think, to me. I don't know why they're in the same deck, like, let alone ended up in the same deck. Like, I hope these were first picks, because this is just, like, pretty difficult to deal with. I'll have to ask Izzy after the game if these were both first picks, because it's tricky. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man, my first pick was a Mumbed City Hall because there was nothing better in that first pick pack. And this is actually I like have not cut. I've cut like one asset of what I drafted. So it's tricky. It's one I could almost play, which is Mumbad Construction Company, which lets you gets an advancement counter and then lets you move advancement counters to face up at cards, which would really just be for Mesnachestvo and Musfingo. Um, I did not get Mumbad City Hall. I got Mumbad Temple. Excuse me. Corroder comes down. Interesting. That's not what I would have expected. That's a good way to bankrupt themselves or herself. Let's see. Still nothing great to res here. Okay. That's pretty good. Kind of. Let's think. I might hold this. We're going to draw. Okay, that almost does something. I'm going to draw. Okay, that's something. Then we're going to... I'm actually going to wait till I can put both of these N land and HHN in the same turn. So we're going to do this. And yeah, Izzy can run 3 times and then hit archives here. Which is certainly annoying. Ooh, this is great for me though. This is an accidental synergy if I somehow manage to hit three in a row. Event program resource, so I did not. It's a real bummer. Oh, hold on. Okay, so it reveals the top 3 if any 2 are the same type, event, resource, etc. The second sub is active. But and if all 3 are the same, all 3 subs are live, but they all fire regardless. But only the first one did anything here. Okay, so we bottomed the top card, and then we see an Into the Depths, which I really thought about drafting because it's really nice tutoring. Hyper Armitage and Hyperbaric. Okay, that probably doesn't matter because I think we only have 2-2-pointers in the deck. So they're probably still playing to 3 steals, but this would have been nice to get in our score area with a Lady Liberty. It's actually nice because it also stops the Amakua from getting to 4 and them running archives this turn. So I could have a turn. Okay. So now it's resource program hardware. So they lose 3, but they can't do any, like, they don't actually lose 3. We have a future perfect in the deck, which I would actually lose the game to if it was on the top of R&D. Oh, it okay. Mumba Temple, you can do this for me. You can somehow get me through this game. I don't know how that's going to happen. Oh, only 2 Amakua credits. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Do I put this on archives? I mean, we have okay, if I install this on archives, I cannot. No, I can res it. And I just lock off 8 credits for the cost of 1 ice. I guess the runner can credit up, clear this. But yeah, Sensi should be pretty good. I probably should have prioritized getting the... Not looking to HHN them this turn. No, simply the onion because I have a goldfish brain. I also don't have any money or payoff for it right now. Oh, good. They're running here with 2 credits, so their turn is going to be run, click for a credit, run back, and trash Sensi Actors Union. I also sort of assumed that they were going to spend time. I assumed that they were getting the Amaku to the right strength to go and interact this turn. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting HHN. They really need to click and run the Sensi here. Maybe I'm not HHNing them, but yeah, I think they forgot that Moomba Temple has credits. Yeah, I maybe should have waited. Yeah, I can't get to 3 credits in H. Oh wait, I can, because I can res the drudge work, click it to get 2, click for a credit, and then HHN. Okay, well, Amaku it down, raid boss down. Let's see what we can do, and we hit the Carmen. Let's go. Raid boss is down, and we get a Sensi fire. Oh my goodness. This is murder. This is oh shoot. Okay, I did those in the wrong order. We're going to pretend I did them in the right order. Okay, so we're going to put... Oh, it doesn't matter where exactly I put it. We'll put the future perfect on the bottom. Then we're going to res the drudge work. I think I... Let's see. No, I think I just put... Do I put both of these in R&D? I think I do. And there we go. So the reason not to, I guess, would be they're fairly safe in my hand, whereas Slot Machine, they can just run R&D and go to 0 credits, but they can't win. And I can lose to a future perfect bad shuffle here, but they're out here to now run R&D, and I just flooded R&D full of agendas. I guess they can't steal the NAPD if they ever get 2 of the same type on top. They can't ever steal, or actually no, yeah, they can't ever steal a future perfect. A Vacheron steal doesn't hurt me for a little bit because they're probably dead. I do also have Judge. Okay. Start turn. Let's draw 3. We will put future perfect on the bottom and mandatory draw. I think I really want to play VLC. So what we can do... Yeah, I think it's play DBS. And then VLC, and we'll discard 2 cards. Perfect. There's our boom. And Izzy can't quite clear all the tags, so we can keep going. We can also just archive memories if we need to. I don't think I need the special support anymore. Oh yeah, shooting down the Armitage would be fine. I think it's not that important for me here though. Let's see. Oh, it's just one discard. Okay, I was overthinking that. It's probably the special report actually, but Obelisk, let's go. Though them installing the Obelisk means they almost certainly lose on the spot if they don't win. So just not the 1 in 9. They can click for a credit and do this one more time. Okay, that's GG. Okay, yeah, we put this on the bottom. And then we get to put this on the bottom. Yeah, they could have gone for the 1 in 9 twice. Yeah, I mean, we just... Okay. So, I'm going to style just a second. So first, I'm going to do new remote, score, and then we're going to boom. Yeah, so I think we got very lucky there, though we also got unlucky in that our opponent was playing Temujin Amakua, which should be pretty favored. So, I don't know. This is not StimHack Cube. This is Ixaron made their own Singleton cube, which is, I'm going to say, inspired by the StimHack cube, but takes out... It's weird. Like, it doesn't include Account Siphon, but it does include Temujin. And if you were to ask me which of those two cards is better for the game of Netrunner, it would be Account Siphon. Like, it's got more downsides, has fairer... Like, I actually think Account Siphon has fairer numbers than Temujin contracts. Yeah, I might even drop them a note and just be like, you should swap if you want a high-powered Crim card, like, just swap it. I picked Cybernetics Court. I actually picked Cybernetics Court pretty late. And it just happens to be really good in this deck because we're trying to play a combo kill deck. It's not a thing I would normally pick. One of the things I actually dislike about this draft format, well, okay, VLC was like a pack 3, or like it was like third pack, and it was like 4 or 5 people pass on it. I think my very first pick was Mumbad Temple. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, it was either Mumbad Temple or Offworld Office. It was one of the two. Sure. Let's go over to tournament, and this is, I somehow got table 1. This is casual, and this is runner side. Yeah, multiple, like 4 people passed the VLC, and I said, hold up, I know this is bad to ask people's information, but why the heck are you passing VLC? And they're like, I don't like to discard cards. It's only really good if you're an asset deck. And I'm like, I don't think either of those statements are true, but I'll let it go. I think this is actually a bad hand for me. Let's go grab my this. We're going to try and make the same sized thing. But I doubt I will succeed. If I do this, there we go. I have to change the cropping on this guy. We will mull this hand. Okay, this is also a pretty bad hand, but it has Rozeki, so we're fine. Yeah, it doesn't actually... Turbine not working with Faust is a bummer. But I do have Yogg, so I really can't complain. Let's see. So we're going to run R&D, deal a post-truth dividend, draw a card, run R&D, and install a Rozeki. Yeah, we're playing a very, very boring runner. Desperado was a first pick. It wasn't actually my first pick. I think Rozeki was my first pick. I should probably just start running at them. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I didn't stream the draft part. We were doing it in the draft call. And it was, yeah, I just didn't end up streaming that part. We were having like conversations and stuff, but yeah. All right. So there's a gatekeeper, which I'm not too scared about. We're just gonna start face checking, I think. This is a barrier. We'll let that fire. I'm not... That is a barrier that's annoying for me. I'm going to assume this is the gatekeeper, but we'll find out. We will not install this. We will break a subroutine, which will be trash an installed card. Let's see, how does Mongoose... Not great, actually. Mongoose is going to be expensive for this, so I'm probably doing Ottoman 4 and then not playing my Ice Carver. Let's see. I think I'm done. I think you can install a card if you want. And then we'll just run server 1 on our last click here. That might be the gatekeeper. Okay, La Costa. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Muramoto versus Faust. Oh, yes. Faust is like my main breaker. I actually, yeah, most of these are going to get just thrown out in the trash, and we're just going to levy at some point in the game. And Rozeki means we will even have the money to levy, which is great. If they res the gatekeeper, we do get to break it for free for the rest of the game, which is kind of fun. I'm not sure if it's actually relevant, but so Simply Onion, this is we're playing to 6, so there's maybe some argument for it. It's and you only are playing, I think, 14 points, which is pretty wild to me. Let me double check that. 14 to 15 agenda points in a 30 to 34 card deck. And it's playing to 6. Yeah, like, honestly, the playing to 6 part, there's a lot of little complaints I have about this draft format, but it's also... That's fine. It doesn't... Like, not every draft format has to be for me, especially something that's like a Singleton draft format. There's a part of me that's like, can I just slam Yogg and run this remote? So we know this is an upgrade. We know they drew a La Costa. Ottoman 4 actually looks very, very good on this board. It actually looks shockingly good on this board. That's kind of cool. I have no idea what they drafted. Me streaming this is definitely a disadvantage for me. I probably even said some stuff in the call that was a disadvantage for me, but that's a terrible lighting in this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try and fix that. It's still not the right light, but it's better light. there is a part of me that's just like, oh, if I just click Ottoman 4 and deep dive, we're probably in a good spot. I think it's gonna be credit. I'll install the bankroll for now. Lists are not open. This is a draft. I've never seen a draft that does open lists. But I think I can do Ottoman 4, run HQ for net 0, and just get some scoping going. Oh, wow. They actually put an agenda in the row, and it's an Astro script. Holy shit, that's bad. Oh, fuck. I got punished. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. Okay, that's better. So if I put this in at 4, that cost me 7, and then I can doof exactly. Yep. Or no, I have an extra whole credit. Oh no, I can doof exactly. Never mind. Beep. Now, I actually wonder if it would be better to not doof that turn. But we'll see. I think I run HQ twice and then draw a card. I don't think you go for this play if you don't have some agendas in hand. Though maybe they're just assuming I didn't have something for Gatekeeper, which, like, I did have, but then didn't play, so... But I actually probably don't need this Inti now. I don't know. I have Levy, so I probably don't need to be too precious with it. Okay. So we can slap down the Yogg and get into this server, I think. And this is a free run on net. Okay, that's annoying. Okay. So I think I'm going to... I think that's going to be Lacosta. I really do. So I think they're... Well, so that would be Jeeves, Lacosta, and 2 unknowns in their hand. Oh, that's actually a really nice card. So we're going to actually just run HQ a second time. Or a final time. Oh, no. We're going to get beat hard. If they don't install anything in server 1, we get to take a turn off in day job. And then the turn after that, we get to deep dive. So Snake Draft is... there's some other ones. There's grid drafting and Winston drafting, I think. The way that Netrunner players do Snake Draft is, like, mostly open, but not entirely. Okay, I think that's got to be Lacosta, right? So we could pop Yogg and go. But I think we're going to say that we're going to play Value Runner, and R&D is open, and going in for 2 credits is like an okay single play for us here. And so we can, like, single R&D, draw, credit, credit every turn, and that will be something that the Corp has to respect. Okay, that is a card that people play. I forgot about that. I do not mind that that's there, to be honest. Nope. And we will break, break, break. Simulation reset. Okay, good to know. With an MK Ultra and a bankroll, I think I'm okay to run HQ here. Yeah, like, it's hard to get punished. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Would have been nice if this was a little more expensive, but that's okay. telework contract. So we can definitely pop this bankroll at any point. I think my next turn looks something like run. Maybe I just can overwrite this inty. Maybe it's not doing anything for me. The question is, do I do the telework now? I always feel weird. I know, like, opponent actually drafted some really good stuff against me. This is a hard one. I have to try to not look at chat while I think about this. I think telework is just good enough. I could also just draw again, because I'm not installing the Sabasi. I think that's actually better. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Sick. Data sucker. Yeah. I mean, like, I think I did an okay job building this deck. It's just good stuff run Crim. Ooh, red level clearance to get through my soft lock on R&D. Ottoman at 4 doesn't interact that well with Data Sucker, but Inti sure does. I do probably have to go and trash this bankroll at some point. Turn 9, so Rozeki has made net 5 or net 4, so it's now a sure gamble. I think I am actually just overwriting this Inti. Seems super greedy, though. It's like if I don't draw Faust, I just lose if they find a barrier that I can't break. Oh, yeah, that's true. I know, I do actually have an all-nighter that I've drafted and am not including. I could arguably put that in over, like, the Armitage code busting. I forgot I had Hippo in the deck. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So I think it's install this, run HQ, fully break Quandary. No action. We will make another run on HQ. Oh, wait. We can just deep dive the shit out of them. Holy moly. I, like, forgot that this... Okay, so we just win next turn guaranteed. Almost. That's wild. Even if they put back the 15 minutes, the deep dive doppelganger synergy, a thing I did not realize was a thing. That's hilarious. Holy shit. Oh, that's so funny. And it's hard to stop. It is hard to stop. This is also much better art than the original Doppelganger art, and I'm surprised that FFG put that much money into a card that was never going to see any play. Yeah, Simply Onion. Like, I mean, I think here's my I think especially in like this is just this runner does nothing special. Like it really does nothing special. And so I'm a little bit worried that, like, unless you're playing Kill Corp, like, any fair-ish corp is going to really struggle. One thing that's actually I should mention is I am not playing Mayfly in this deck, but Mayfly is given a 1x Mayfly is given to every single runner, which I don't know how I feel about that. I would probably give everyone like the goal's like, oh, it's a one shot, and I'm like, I honestly think making people install and play the OG. What? What? Did they read my mind? That play makes so little sense to me unless you're I mean, like, there's plenty of good reasons for it. Maybe you've just got the soul read on deep dive here. Maybe you don't want me running for free. Thing is, I still get to do this as a very low risk play. I actually wonder. Yeah, I don't need to steal our trash cards this run. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna run archives. A 3 strength barrier is not okay. So they're not a stream sniper, I think. Deep dive. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. GG. We will not access another card. Okay. I did not recognize this as the name of an agenda for a very long time. Wow, if they had shuffled back the 15 minutes, we may have lost the. We may not have won. It does kind of look like a fake card. Just for a second, for people that care about stats, I made 36 credits. I drew 14 cards. Yeah, that was super nice to find happen naturally. Oh, cool. That's a fun remote. Okay, so ping would have actually been totally fine. Great. And then, yeah, Managarm, San, and what's the presumably an agenda. Yeah, Atman 4 making a return. Fantastic. 8? It would really have been 8? Oh, ADT, sick. I should go report my results. Yeah, this deck is just very rude. When was Atman 4? Was that really like 2000? That was like 2014, 2015, which, oh my god, is 8 years ago. Ah, man. Oh my goodness. That can't be 8 years ago. Oh no. Oof. Oh. Oh, wait, 8 years? No, Anarcho, are you that much younger than me? Because I was in college. Oh my goodness, no. Ugh, I can't have. That's wild. Okay, you are. I am turning 30 very, very soon. Jeez. Okay, well, those were 2 games of Netrunner. Uh, 10 and 12 turns. Yeah, I don't know. I So, okay, we started drafting at 1:30 and we finished the first round at 4:30. We started playing at about just before 4 o'clock. So it took us 40 minutes to play our 2 games. Let's see. So it took us 2.5-ish hours to draft. I feel like if you add one more pack, or you make the pack sizes 5 cards bigger, because these were 10-card pack sizes. So you draft 40 cards and play 34 or 30. I wonder if you could add 5 more cards to each pack, so you draft an additional 20 cards. And then you play 40 and 44, and you play to 7 points, and your games take an extra 5 minutes each, I think, on average. Yeah. Or this was 4 packs of 10, so 3 packs of 15 would be 45, which is not quite enough, I think, if you're doing Singleton. So maybe it's 4x12 to get, no, 4x13 to get 52 cards, and you're going to play. You know what? You have semi-functional starters. 4x15 is a lot of cards, but definitely you could do. Yeah, MTG has 3x15 for 40 cards. But yeah, you're actually only playing 23 of the 40 cards you draft. And now Ixaron has gotten mad at me in the past for saying that, like, that doesn't mean that only the 23 of the cards you draft matter. But at the same time, I kind of think it does. Like, yeah, you're maybe drafting 30 playables at various points in the draft, but, like, you're still drafting a good, almost a full pack's worth of chaff. So I don't know. Like, a lot of this, I think, is I got past cards that shouldn't have been passed to me, I think, in all likelihood. But we haven't seen that many other decks, right? We've only saw one other person's runner's deck, and their runner deck looked, like, Izzy's runner deck looked quite good. I don't know what you're supposed to do corpse side. Like, I think Izzy has had some really good corp cards. Like, this is a very reasonable keep. Wow, there's an artificial crypto crash in hand the whole game. Wild. So let's see, what do we do? Wow, this Inti is actually quietly quite good, and I just didn't face check it. I think this Sansan install is a little bit weird to me, but oh no, okay, it went away on the gatekeeper trigger, and I just didn't read that text. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, AstroScript was definitely scary. This doof is decently well timed. There's a real argument for delaying the doof. Oh, what did they install here? Oh yeah, they install an econ card. Okay, well, it's arguably an econ card. Yeah, I mean, like, this is just a good stuff corp deck that's playing pretty reasonable ice. Like, Actually, I would say all of this ice is good. They're playing a reasonable like set of agendas, a bunch of 3-2s. I think maybe you should try to avoid playing the 2-1s. Yogg continues to. We were having a debate about the best decoder in the game, and I was like, "There's not a debate. It's Yogg. Like Ngolo is very good, but Yogg is just far and away the best. Breaking for 0 is just absolutely wild." Okay, so actually, here's a question. So 9 credits, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, I would still have enough to deep dive. I'm going to step away for just a second to grab something out of the oven. So, be right back. Okay, yeah. So let's see. I've got some time to fill, I think, before the next round, so we can go and look at my corp deck. Oh, round 2 is paired. Never mind. So let's go and do that. Leave the replay, reload the page, open up Cobra. Pairings, I'm up against Ellie. Casual. Table 1. But yeah, we'll quickly go and show. Oh, I could save this image. Where did I save this one? We're just gonna save this somewhere else, but that's what we're gonna do. Save as. Hey, Simply the Onion. Nothing new has happened. I don't think. I'm sort of the opinion the meta hasn't quite stabilized, but everyone else disagree. All the good players disagree with me, so like very clearly they're right. I mean, this is a snap keep. We can go install, 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 play the VRcation. It's probably install, install, click for a credit, play the VRcation, something like that. But like we have one sure gamble, and I think that's the only thing that would make this hand better. Like I get my 2 cents right now is that draw 4. I mean, we're just going to do this, right? Never punished except for the fact that we drew our sure gamble, but whatever. Goodbye, day job. That was going to be the card that let me recover. I do not mind taking damage here, though. I'm going to draw. Look for a credit. Install the reclaim. And Looks like I'm going to want the positive tempo. Um, oh, that's the wrong thing. I think that's a mistake. Unless they're going to kill me somehow with 1 net damage. So we're just going to draw. That's a good card. Draw. That's a good card. We will check server 4 here. Sick rips. Okay, I actually, because I have the urban renewal and the Reaper protocol function is down, at some point I just go and trash the splatter or take a net damage and move on with my life, I think. The Gorman Drip is going to be a power card for me. Go and find where I put this. Beautiful. Nice image. I don't have to worry about the stupid cropping. There we go. Okay. So click for 5 seems pretty difficult to beat. No snare is active here. Del Moon's pretty active. That's certainly the case. I think I do care about the cards in my hand a little bit. But I think I actually care to do this more. If I get tagged and they want to trash my John Masanori, power to them. Like, it's already paid off for me now. Great. Now we can run server 2. We might lose our Hippo, but I don't think that's going to be super relevant here. Great, we didn't lose our Hippo anyway. I'm just not going to prioritize trashing Estelle Moon. It's definitely something I probably should, but I'm not, like, it's not a super high priority here. Because I don't know how Estelle Moon helps them win, because I have most of the kill combo pieces in my corp deck, so it's just very tricky. Yeah, we did lose. I'm not even sure that we did lose the better Fractor. Genuinely, like, after the first turn where I install Gauss, these have the same base strength. I guess this boost for is twice as effective at boosting. But there's also a thing where I can install Hippo, run Estelle Moon, it gets popped, and then I just, like, run HQ or something. I guess I can't quite do that, but Corps do not get Spinner, Jackson. They instead get Special Report. I don't know why. I don't know why. Ixaron was saying they want more Corp power, and I didn't think about it at the time, but, like, there's a very easy way to give more Corp power, and that's give the Corps a freaking agenda flood tool. But Steel, House of Knives, we've got our Levy as well. It's a little bit unfortunate that we have it in our hand right now, because I have no way of recurring it. Let's run HQ some more. They've got 0 credits or 2 credits. I think what we'll do is we'll run the server 5. If I lose the Levy, I lose the Levy, I think. But I'm not going to lose the Levy, yeah. So now I'm just going to spend some time drawing up, like, just running at them. At some point, I will probably reinstall the Faust. This might even be a turn where I reinstall the Faust. Desperado's pretty good. Desperado's quite good. Okay, so this is hostile architecture, hostile infrastructure. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. That's pretty fantastic. Respect to Ellie, yeah. That's so cool. Okay, we're gonna run archives just to get a absolute boatload of value. Um, we'll add this to our score area. Okay, so the question is, do I Otman 0 or do I Faust here? Because I actually think Otman 0 is not an unreasonable way to go here either, right? Um, or I can just run some shit, right? No, we're going to get the Faust down. Now we run HQ. Okay. So we're going to... Let unbroken subroutines fire, I think. Well, can I... No, here's what I do. Okay. This is annoying. Oh, I lose the levy guaranteed. Hold on. Because hostile infrastructure or hostile infrastructure would still work. So we're instead going to play the 1 in 4 game here. If I run with 5 cards in hand, I can handle this. Oh, fudge. Okay. If my opponent wants to spend their whole turn going after the oboe, I think I do not have a care in the world. Okay, so I somehow have to break this net. Okay, should have done Otman, but whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start checking all these remotes. That's an easier way for us to win. Okay. What are we going to do about bioethics? I think we actually have a relatively straightforward answer. Which I think is we play Levy now. And then I run back and go for it. uh... Oh, wow. I didn't actually get my MK Ultra, but I will just VRcation back up. Oh, Yogg solves all of my problems. Okay. Let's go, Yogg. Here to save the day. Who needs Hippo when you've got Yogg? I do feel a little bad for Shishu. Me getting the Levy, it was like a 6th... It was like 5th pick out of a pack. Which really probably shouldn't happen, but we'll run archives. I actually don't know if I'm scared about these cards anymore. Probably should be. Well, and also it's the same as clicking for a credit, right? Because they can't snare me here. Okay, there is also a Breach Dome. So just let's not lose our Breach Dome to a... Let's not... Oh, okay. That's hilarious. That is so good. We're just gonna draw up here. Next turn we can slam down the Yogg and run HQ twice. And try and win. That's wild. So I made that play because I still have a Reclaim back in the deck because Reclaim doesn't RFG itself. So we might be okay even then. I could also put down the bankroll, but that's a little bit too greedy, I think. I think I'm gonna want to have cards. Um, where's that Gorman drip when you need it though? Oh, it's only 2 with data sucker. Oh my goodness. That's wild. Okay, there's also an oboe in there. I think. I don't think there's. I think the special report was played before then. Uh, Preemptive? Ah! We have so little time. Uh, Come on. There we go. GG. All right. Well, I mean, this is the corp draft that is really good. Maybe my complaining about corps was too much. As long as you play Tag Me or Grinder, you've got outs against Reg Runner. Yeah. No way I win without it, I think. Nice corp deck. This is wild. That's super funny that this is in the pool. Like, that's really cool. And also hybrid release coming in clutch. Man. Yeah, like these are taking 12 minutes. I don't know. You can afford to play these to 7 and play with more cards and draft more cards. I don't know. But this is, it's not my format. That's fine. I'm still having a good time, clearly. Like playing these has been fun for sure. So I really can't complain. Let's take a photo of this as well. That going. Let's see. And then we're going to get this out, and then we're going to grab this, but we're going to change it. Ooh. Oh, ball. That was the wrong thing. Why you would do that. Okay, here we are. We shrink this. We actually just shrink it quite a bit, or maybe we're just going to position it. Whatever. Okay. This is a keeper. Draw. Okay. I sort of maybe should. Okay, opponent has crowdfunding. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is a fun list. Vacheron, Future Perfect. I'm not looking to score anything. Shipment from Vladisbirsk is my nod to trying to score. Draw 3 cards. We'll put this on the bottom, and now we basically can't lose. I have to just never shuffle. No shuffle effects. No shuffle effects. Okay, just draw both of our politicals. I was also had the option to grab the HB political, but I decided I wasn't playing enough operations that mattered. Shishu does have credits, so like the Sensi Actors Union won't live. Wow, they even Snipe the SIU. Sick. Tour guide on HQ is probably happening, but we'll see. There could be an imp here for sure. Okay, that's wild to me. I think this is where we discover that some of these people just haven't played a bunch of Netrunner in the recent history. Oh, I forgot to res my DBS. That's a bummer. I think the Future Perfect is the card I'd rather have on the bottom. I just forgot to res the DBS, so we're just going to live without it for now. I think it's going to be this on HQ, this in the new remote, and this in server behind that remote. Yeah. Now, there is a Mayfly, so they can Mayfly get the Ares, but if they don't, they're in for a bit of trouble. And I'm just literally actually Scorched Archive Scorch is a legit kill threat, and here comes the Mayfly. Yeah, so they're just gonna get through, but that's fine. Parasite is in the pool. It's a 1x. Yeah, I don't mind too much. It's this 1-pointer is very rarely going to matter. Let's see, what are these cards? This I want, this I want. This I don't need with my current agendas. Swordsman I probably also don't need. I think I have all of the AIs I care about, but I think Shipment from Vladispears is just blank here. Then I get to add a card to the bottom of R&D. Probably the Shipment from the Freedom of Information. And we take our mandatory draw, and now I feel silly, but okay, so we're going to go draw. You know what? We'll put this on R&D, and we will put Zealous Judge in server 5, and we will trash a Swordsman and a special report, because who needs to shuffle their deck when you have Sensi? We also are just waiting for our HHN to show up. Mid-Seasons is also a card that we have access to at some point. I'm feeling like I'm in an okay spot. Oh, Anarcho, that is probably a better play. All right, money's gonna go down, I guess. Yeah, that's a really nice line. Just force them to have it right away. Oh no, but that doesn't kill because I would only have the single score. Oh, I guess yeah. It would have to be install Judge Naked, install Archive Memories, install the thing, because it doesn't. Otherwise, it doesn't work because I don't have my. Man, opponent killed the wrong card here. I'm actually not going to be playing the VLC this round. That's kind of wild. Oh, okay, never mind. We're playing the VLC. Okay, we will find... Okay, Lady Liberty is our alternate win con as well. This is such a funny situation. Yeah, that's gonna stay. Opponent's doing something. Oh, they're gonna get their crowdfunding back this round. Okay. I'm gonna have to zoom out in a moment, I think. It's unfortunate. This is 100% people not recognizing how strong Sensi is. Like, if they trash the Sensi here, I actually don't know. Like, if they trashed the Sensi 2 turns ago, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Uh, okay. So cool. We can just force feed them an agenda. Like I might just put the Vacheron out naked on the table, but like I don't need to. Like there's not actually any threat forcing me to do much of anything right now. Um, there's no point in icing archives here. Let's see. We're gonna put an end the run on HQ, I think. Oh, I don't actually need to. I could draw a card or install. I forgot that I have a plus hand size. There is an APOC in the pool, yes. With no breakers, I'm not super scared of it. But that's maybe why. Like, I don't think I have a better play than icing up HQ here. Oops. One second. One sec. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, there we go. All right, well, that's GG, I think. Unless my opponent has something sick, and I just don't think they quite do here. Um, uh, no, if they just clear the tag, I just oh, I can't zealous. Da 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 da. I don't care about them accessing any cards in my hand here. There's no reason to spend any money. Like if they steal a Vacheron, it's great. It's like people are like, "Oh, crowdfunding is like not an auto pick because it's just a one of." I'm like, no, I think it's still just the way the format works. I think it's an auto pick. Okay, well that's GG, and we drew the HHN. Oh my goodness. G. Oh wow, they had a steel skin. So there is a world where we might not have killed them with the Sea Scorch. Well, I think it's actually that if you're making 3 clicks that don't do anything, then you're spending 3 clicks to draw. Like you're basically just drawing a card as the extra value. Um, but as long as one of those runs is good or two of those runs are like otherwise runs you could make, like crowdfunding becomes pretty nuts. So I don't know. Well, we didn't even get to res some of our fun cards, but I don't know how many there even are. So it doesn't protect double scorched. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, steel skin actually doesn't protect against anything. It two steel skins does, but that's not a thing. So Um, yeah. Cool. Well, I'll go report the results and see. Okay. Roll Tree does seem like a very bad card in this draft, but it's in here for some reason. There's a lot of there's a good number of cards that I think are very tricky to ever see play. Um, but um, but let's actually I do think the like for all that I'm saying like like huge shout outs to Ixaron for for organizing this, putting this cube together, and there's a bunch of people that play it very consistently and have a great time with it, and it has some really good elements. So let me go find the cube so that we can pull this up and talk about it a little bit while we're waiting for the lists. So I like couldn't really look at this in a way that made sense to me. Like it's just too many cards. Let's move my face out of the way. Okay. So I think there's some things to note. There's 60 agendas and only 90 ice. So that's a 2-to-3 ratio. And when I think about, I guess most corp decks are about a 2-to-3 ratio, maybe a little bit worse even. But if you're looking, like, I wouldn't mind seeing a little more ice. There's a lot of ice. So, like, when we look through the ice, what do we have? We've got Bailiff seems fine. Battlement seems fine. BC fine. That's fine. I don't think Chiashi is any good. Corp Econ is just so bad. Data Ward is maybe even worse. Like, I don't know why this is in the pool. Eli's good. Eula's good. Firewall is actually, I think, fine. Hagen's great. Heimdall's bad. Himitsu's great. Hive is, I mean, I would have loved to have drafted Hive. We're not scoring at all. Icewall, Ivik, Hakugo, Maskarovka, Masvingo. Maskarovka, I think, is great in this kind of format. I don't think Meridian really belongs because I don't think there's a fast break or anything. Yeah, there's no... Wait, no, what's... there? What are the payoffs? There's Giordano Memorial Field. Doesn't look like... Yep, there's no Memorial Field. There's no fast break. And there's... I have to assume there's no game changer. Yeah. So, like, Meridian's an example of a card that I just don't think belongs. Like, yeah, I guess if you're playing all 5/3s, this, and then the runner chooses to face tank the Meridian, then I guess it's okay, but you really shouldn't play a deck that's all 5/3s, I think. I guess if you're playing to 6, this also makes them have to steal an extra if they're stealing all 4/2s. I don't know. It seems like a very niche include when you have... I gotta imagine there's other Singleton barriers you could include. Though I'll be honest, none are springing to mind. I mean, Paper Wall, honestly, Vanilla is in here, but I think there's got to be some other ones. You could like even just play an HB one like Najin or whatever. These Conundrum, I think, just doesn't belong. Like, this is such a bad card. I don't know who reses this. I drafted it because I had to. It was last pick, I think. Da 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 da. Fairchilds are actually pretty fine. IQ is a card I keep seeing in drafts, and I'm like, this card didn't do anything when it was standard legal, and it had options then. But anyway, like all of these cards are inoffensive. They're fine. It's like I wonder the like I don't know. I'd love to. I feel like there's got to be other code gates as well that are playable, but maybe not. This is what 33 unique code gates. Let's see how many unique code gates there are. It's S, right? Code gate. There are 93. Okay, so there's got to be some ones that we could include. There's also actually, like, this is something that I think is, like, the downside of this being a no ID draft, is you have Excavator, Civicator Excavator, which I just don't think makes sense if you don't have Ops ability. Like, yes, you can technically use this in like a Mushin trap deck or something like that to like throw away your own spent traps, but like you're spending a click for 3 credits, which is like somewhat better, but still not great. I'm pretty unsold by it. Yeah, there's just a lot of cards where I'm like, you could put something more interesting in this slot. I was actually surprised the kill package came together. I think it's pretty easy for that to not come together, but the way that stuff came out, it actually came out pretty smoothly. The other thing I should mention, corpse side, you get a bunch of starters as well. That's true, Ba Ranwu. Against the one guy who's got Yogg, it's probably good to sell your code gates. So you also get Aided Fragment, Utopia Fragment, Hades Fragment, Send a Message, Orbital Superiority, and Superconducting Hub. A 1x Rainbow, a 1x Special Report, a 1x Hedge Fund, and a 1x Private Contracts. So you get those cards as well. I think actually I'm going to go to break for a minute or two, I think, while there's still some games going on. And we will see how things are going. But yeah, with singletons, it seems so unreliable, and there's so many decks that like don't like singletons a format that some people really like. It's just not, I think, a format that I'm in love with. But yeah, I will be back shortly. Hope y'all can see you in a bit. back and talk about some stuff some more. I think this is one of the things I'm trying to figure out. It's like, if I want to make a cube or a draft experience for Worlds, right? That means I need to have some questions about what do I want the format to be. What do I like about this format, and what do I not like about this format? I think one thing that is actually pretty neat about this format is you play a lot of cards you wouldn't play. So let me go and grab the runner draft as well. So, like, I definitely look like I'm playing a Bassi. I arguably shouldn't be anymore. I also have Gordian Blade, but I chose Bassi over Gordian Blade because I got Yogg. I was like, I'm not going to need both. And then I got Sucker, and I was like, okay, cool, we're in a good spot. I passed the Black Orchestra. Like, there's some interesting things about this. Where you do evaluate cards a little bit differently because you don't have an ID. So it's much more about just the raw value you can get up and engines you can get going. That said, I think there's a real downside to not drafting an ID because so much of Netrunner has put its power into IDs. Like, there's just a lot of power in IDs in Netrunner. And I think it makes the game really fun and interesting, and playing a blank ID, I think, does have some real costs to it in terms of what you can do and what you can build in a Netrunner deck. I don't know how you bridge that gap. Singletons also make it really weird because there's a lot of cards that are like engine-y cards where you need to set them up in some way, and if you only have one shot to find the setup card, like that's a bummer. Like, for example, there's a 1x Motivation, which is a card that probably very few people have thought about anytime recently. And then there's also a 1x Oracle May. And boy, if you could play 6 copies of each, or 3 copies of each, or 2 copies of each in a 40-card deck, like, maybe it's something you try because that's their best in slot. But trying to play this as a one-of with actually, like, there's no hostage in the pool, which just makes it very, very tough. Let's think about, like, what I'm kind of curious about, like, what the okay, so what kind of corp game plans are supported? So we saw Grinder, which I actually wouldn't have thought, but does in some sense make sense, exists. It's going to be difficult, right? You have to get the Obokata, which I think is an agenda that basically everyone can first pick. Like, I don't think there's a downside to taking Obokata generally. Like, yeah, you don't want to run a lot of 5/3s, but it's hard for the runner to steal. Let's see what else we have. So we have AR, which helps asset-based decks. I don't think none of these other cards are doing a ton for me. Like, Architect Deployment Test is not nothing. Azscript's really big for fast advance, right? But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. There should be a 5, 6. Sorry, I'm being 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Counting these out for a reason, which is right now 12, I think. So there's 12 3/2s, and you have to run 6 to have a legal deck. That's all 3/2s. That's pretty rough. That means one person has to get half of the available 3/2s, many of which are good enough to play on their own. Well, maybe not many. Maybe it's happened, and it's not that big a deal. But I feel like all 3/2s is just it's a hard strategy to make work, and then to actually score out your game plan, like you only get one biotic labor, you have a 1 of dedication reconstruction contract. What else do we have for fast advance? Yeah, cold lava. There are drafts. I've done IDs a couple of ways. I think the big boy cube has you do. There is a pool of two IDs for each faction, and then you have to pick a faction that you have the most influence in, where agendas count as influence equal to their agenda points. So something like a 3/2 would be worth 2 influence. So like Ascript would be a 2 influence NBN card. And so then you would build your deck, tally up your total influence, and then that would tell you which ID you could play. So like if you had Wayland, it would be like Gagarin or Argus. Oh, shit. Well, we're just gonna go sans headphones. Please let me know if this messes up the audio. I'm gonna try and make it so it doesn't, but do let me know if it does. Okay. Thought I charged these overnight, but looks like they're charging. I can probably do that and then swap over in the next couple of minutes. Let's see. Okay. So that's one way. I've also done, you just draft the IDs, and you can do that in 2 different ways. In the Stim Hack Cube, they're just regular cards that you could draft like any other card. And every ID is just you're always a 40 infinite in the Stim Hack drafts. What's the other one? Sorry, just filling my chair. The other one that I've seen is you draft, and we did this for the Roseville Cube. You just did a mini pack, so it was 4 cards that were all IDs, and you drafted 1, passed, drafted 1, passed, drafted 1, passed. I have thought about Cold Lava, and I think one of the ideas I want to try and play with is to have a format where you do actually have to draft and match the ID text. I think the challenge is that's gonna like super tunnel people. So there might be it's like, oh, maybe you do this with IDs and you say everyone is a 45-25 rather than a 45-15. Maybe you include some cards that say this card increases your influence limit and is like otherwise click for 2 credits, something like that, right? So it's like it's a card that you don't want to include, but you can include if you really want to get some influence in there. We also put a lot of neutral cards, so I don't love that. The other thing you could do is put lots of low influence cards in, which I think I'm a bigger fan of. And then you just have to include, like, you basically have to be 3 factions. Maybe you have to be 3 factions on the corpse side, or you just have to draft a ton of cards to get functional decks, which is kind of, I think, the tricky part about drafting for IDs by faction with exactly the printed cards. I will say I've done snake drafts. Snake drafts almost always just make you play legal decks because of the way that draft works. And you could probably actually, you know what? If you did hypercubing, that's the other way where you'll often end up making legal decks. Hypercubing is where instead of drafting a single card, you draft a play set of that card when you're going. Oh, is the music? No, okay. I think I was just talking. I'm going to turn on the music just a bit because it seems like I'm maybe a bit quiet relative to the music. Hopefully that solves it a bit. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can draft IDs, and I think it's something I want to think about. I think something that's so I'm just trying to think about, okay, so we've also got Keeling. So there's like maybe multiple grinder decks there. You've got Drago, who you could maybe make work. You've got some assets, but it's like a lot of the asset board states are about getting enough things. I did pass on a Museum of History. I think I got something else pretty good for it, but I don't remember exactly what. Because I'm just trying to think, what do we do with the asset decks? Like, I actually think a card that would be kind of fun, not so much in a Singleton, right, would be something like a Lakshmi Smart Fabrics. Like, we can do HHN wide assets, but I think that's the only type of wide asset deck you can, and you can do, as we saw, the kind of hostile architecture, hostile infrastructure wide deck. And that probably will end up with one player most of the time. So that actually seems like a nice little deck that will come together a good chunk of the time. Though if two people go for the HHN asset deck at the same time, they just get completely screwed over. Because only one of them is going to get an HHN. And that is kind of a problem with the Singleton format. But yeah, it's like Aurel Salvatore, I don't think this is doing anything for you. Like, it's really hard to get a ton of value off of this. Black Level I don't love. Stinson is like a weird choice. Caprice is great. Caprice is a great win con. So I was like, yeah, if there was some tutoring, if there was multiples, like 2 Caprices is maybe good. You can make a deck out of 2 Caprices. And I guess Marcus Batty is sort of a second Caprice. Yeah, and like Price Echo is another example where I'm like, man, if you could play 2 of these, suddenly a lot of more decks become pretty interesting. Yeah, and there's also just a ton of grids, like so many grids, and like grids are limited to 1 per server. So we saw actually in the first game, I think against Izzy, she put a Sansan City grid in a server and then drew a La Costa, which is definitely a little bit feels bad. I actually wonder if you could start all the cards with attitude adjustments instead of special reports. I feel like that would be okay. That might be nice even. And yeah, for Fast Advance we have the single Biotic Laborer. We've got Trick of Light, I think there was a Bass. I'm pretty sure there was a Bass. Trying to find what Fast Advance tools we have. Like, we may have more. There's not, like... Yeah, this is the problem with Singleton. Or one of the potential problems with Singleton, right? We've got Trick of Light, we've got Bass, and we've got Biotic Labor. And we've got Shipment from Tenon. And I don't know... And we've got Sansan City Grid. As 4 ways to Fast Advance from hand. And trying to... Oh, and Audacity. Yes, there is Audacity as well. So we have 4 ways to Fast Advance. Bass, Biotic Labor, 5 1 card, Sansan City Grid, Trick of Light, and technically Shipment from Tenon. And we also have Dedi Rikoko. So we have 6 possible Fast Advance strategies. I guess RLC Bass would make us to 7, which is going to be very difficult for one person to draft. And then also going to be very difficult to line up with your... You have to both draft all, like... You have to draft at least 3 of those to have a deck, I think. And then you'll also have to draft half of the 3 2s. And I guess you can substitute 2 2-1s each time, and that kind of works. But yeah, I feel like Fast Advance is going to have a very, like, you're not going to be able to do a combo rush style of Fast Advance, I think. And maybe that's the goal of this, but I think it might be something that's kind of nice. Maybe the goal is you score out a 3-2 behind some ice and then you Fast Advance to close. But again, I feel like there's not enough consistency for that. Especially if you're giving every runner Mayfly, that seems tricky. Where are we at here? We're just waiting on Alienated Librarian and Ixaron to play. So yeah, it's like, okay, so we have that. We've got Jeeves, which is actually a really good include. But then it's like, okay, every other corp has to be ice and defensive upgrades. So you get 3 corp archetypes. You get 1 kill deck, Um, yeah, you get 1 kill deck. Maybe you can get 2 if like one person gets HHN, the other person gets mid seasons. One of you gets boom, the other gets scorched end of the line. I know there's someone out there with end of the line as the only thing they've got, because I have the boom, the scorched. Oh, they actually also have a high-profile target. There was a pack that was mid-season's high-profile target and mutually assured destruction, I believe. Yeah, that's kind of why I like the idea of a Crypsis more than a Mayfly, because Crypsis is a much worse breaker. Yeah, yeah, there's an HPT. Like, pay 5, spend a click, and then you don't trash this thing is way, way, way worse. Especially when you have no repeated econ. So, yeah, like I don't know why Tier's in here. So, yeah, I feel like you just like there's not enough support for fair corp. It feels like to me. And I think the easiest way to support fair corp is just to put more good ice in, more good agendas in, but that often means you're going to be having to start running duplicates, and this is the downside of a Singleton. The upside of a Singleton is like there's a ton of variety. You know, no one else has a thing if you take it. Yeah, simply onion. I also do think that like you can just hand out one of each breaker, and call it a day. Ixaron was saying, "Oh, I was seeing play patterns I didn't like." I'm assuming that was Corp just scores out behind a single piece of ice, and to me, I'm like, well, how else? Like that's how the Corp has to win in draft. If this is the card pool that you've given the Corps, it seems like maybe the way you have to structure the full format. We've got 67 icebreakers. I'd really want to break this out by type. A card like Yusuf doesn't make sense in the format, I think. Kind of fundamentally, like I could have ended up drafting Nocturne Yusuf, but without freedom, there's not really any point. It's not saving you that much money. It's eating up a lot of MU. It's quite difficult, I think. Yeah, something. I agree. I think generally runner starters can be pretty limited. But it's like, oh yeah, if the runner Apox, what corp can stop this? One corp gets border control, and then you have to put defensive upgrades on centrals ahead of time, which you really can't afford to do. There's some stealth support, deep data mining, deep dive, deja vu, don't. Like, it's just like, I look at these and I'm like, cool, I can just play good stuff runner. And like, yeah, there's not a lot of econ, so I have to be pretty decent at running, I think, which is probably is going to be tricky, because it's like, oh yeah, I have to run and I don't know what the threats are. But I actually think the threats are basically snare, HHN, mid-seasons. Those are the things that screw you from hand accesses. And I have 2 of the 3 of those. I guess Sea Source Scorch would be a thing, but that's not really anything. Sea Source Retribution is probably a thing, and Public Trails, something like there's some other small things, but they generally are way less game winning. Econ is where Corps end up winning in Singleton because asset econ thrives so heavily in low econ formats. Yeah, but there's also not that much asset econ for Corps either. Like, my Corp deck doesn't actually work, I think, if you really look at it. If the runner trashes Commercial Bankers Group, I'm clicking for credits. Right? And I didn't have, it's not like I passed on a lot of assets. I think the one asset I maybe passed on was like a refuge campaign, which I maybe should have grabbed. I thought it was going to wheel, but I think I just didn't count cards in the pack. It definitely would have been better than some of the Ice Type grabs, I think. What can you do to change the card pool to make the runner less good stuff? I feel like runners tend to just be playable at good stuff much more than corpse. So I think this is just a fundamental structural issue in Netrunner that Null Signal Games is facing at a design level, so I've been thinking about a lot, and I don't know the answer. Right? Like, most Netrunner cards are good stuff. Most runner cards are good stuff cards, like just historically. The runners that built engines have historically been stuff like Desperado Data Sucker in Crim or Shaper. And that's actually just a pile of good stuff cards that are just barely good enough, and then you sorry. To make good stuff runner work, you have to kind of shoehorn in archetypes as the major card pool stuff. So you're like, okay, one person's going to be on an Aesop stack. And we're going to make sure there's support for an Aesop stack. One person's going to be on a successful run. Like, there's going to be some successful run decks. Yeah, there was stuff like Diaper and DDoS, which is really the same deck, right? Which is less good stuff and more combo. There was also Blackmail. And, like, you can make those function in draft. Like, it's actually not unreasonable. And they'll be less consistent because it's draft. And if that's there in the pool, that's fine, right? But yeah, I mean, I think the main way you have to attack good stuff runners, and like Singleton actually does an okay job at this, but then like my whole game plan was I'm gonna just draft Econ and Breakers. And that's basically all I've drafted, right? Econ card, multi-access, Econ card, Econ card, Econ card, Econ card, Econ card, Econ card, Econ card. I have to run a second console. Econ card. Breaker, Econ card, breaker, Econ card, breaker, Econ card, breaker, Econ card, not an Econ card, and an Econ card. So, like, that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything fancy, and we'll see. I've won 2 games, but this is by no means, like, if I had to play this runner against my Corp deck, it would be a challenge. It's tough, right? Like, this deck is going to be good against a lot of corps that don't have a really coherent game plan that can move fast. And the way this deck does lose to a lot of things, it loses, like, this deck would win almost nothing in standard or even startup. But, like, this would have no chance against Singleton PD. But I'm not up against Singleton PD. I'm up against Singleton blank 34 card deck. Which is a high bar for Corps to beat consistently, I think. And, like, yeah, probably taking out Mayfly entirely is a good way to handle that, right? I think also taking out Temujin for Account Siphon is much better. Maybe the fix is just all the corps are PD. All the corps are ETF, I think, would be fine, too. So, I don't know. I think there's some real challenges. Like, you have to build... I mean, this is actually I think this is one of the really cool things about Netrunner, and maybe we're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. The real, like, runners just have to be generalists to some extent, and so the whole card pool of the runner side is made to be generalist. But corpse actually need to have specific plans. And that makes Singleton way, way more challenging because it's so much harder to have a specific plan when you've got things going. All right, I'm up against Armin Firecracker. I can ID to the win. Should I do it? Should I ID? Okay. Set up the table. Ended up playing at table 1 all day. Definitely not just luck. Yeah. So I think you gotta make some adjustments to this, I think. But also this is the weird thing where it's like, I built a really good runner deck, but that also means I know that everyone else's runner decks are like noticeably a bit worse. Not like unreasonably worse, but I think this is a mulligan, even though it has Sensi. I think Armin's good enough to know to trash the Sensi, so. Okay, this is a good start. Let me pull up my corp list. Ace as well. Okay, so we're going to go new remote. New remote. DLC. I'm going to assume most of the time that Swordsman is worse than... Actually, these are both just... Yeah, that's fine. Actually, this is fine. This is fine. Oof. Oof. Ugh. Okay, so we're gonna go Sensi and HHN. Okay. Okay. Well, this sure is going to be a game of Netrunner here. Because I actually want Armin to find the... oh. Bummer. No Sensi for me. No Sensi for me. That's a shame. I still get DBS for quite a while here. I know if Armin runs R&D and trashes Boom, I'd be so happy. I could, like... archive memories for VLC. Okay. Didn't get there. Maybe I should... trashing the archive memories was probably wrong. While I think about it. 2 credits, come on. This is why I don't like playing against good players. They make your life hard. Do I even install this slot machine? Probably not. We'll put this in the remote. Yeah, I should have taken the Mumba Temple, I think, actually. I definitely should have taken the Mumba Temple. That's probably an asset, given that they stopped to think for a second, though maybe they were just reading the card. 7 counters on the Endurance. I actually don't think this slot machine can do anything for me. This, I'm not going to res. Oh, no. Okay. So we're going to draw. This costs 2, so we'll put this on R&D. This does let me score a 5-3 if I draw it. I don't think they looked at NAPD. I actually don't think they did. They're just gonna boat it, but like, hey, if I can slowly use up boat counters at a rate of 1 per turn, I'll do it, right? For 2 credits, seems fine. Archive memories is actually more important to me here. We're going to try and draw. We're going to install a new remote, and then we're going to install an HQ. Really like to find an agenda so I can just get it out of the game or draw my boom. One of the two. Either of the two. Yeah, this is tricky. I have to draw my Zealous Judge now. Let's get them on an urban renewal clock. We're going to go new remote, credit. Oh, I guess we have archive memories HHN here, so we're fine. We're fine. Okay, I actually get to go and mandatory draw. Okay. Put this on server 5. Click for 2 credits. A dog in here with me. Oh, whoops, that was the wrong card, but whatever. Do I res this? Sure. Let's put Future Perfect on the bottom of the deck, and we'll add areas to our score area. Nanook, Endurance. Oof. Oof. I kind of want to see if I can score this Vacheron with Lady Liberty. Or actually, the ideal world here is I top deck a 4-2, of which I have only 1 left in the deck. So I want to top deck my Freedom of Information here, which really means second deck it. And then I can score out with the Vacheron, which would be pretty fun. Come on, we can do this. It's a 1 in like 7 probably. I think we can actually check how many times we've used, about how many times we've used it in the business show. Drudge. Ending turn 4. We're on what? Turn 9. Okay. No, we don't get there. Okay. We're just gonna install Judge, take 2. Never lucky, says the guy who drafted all of the kill cards and all the tag cards. I think I even have a Mad that I'm not running. Do I res this Afshar? No, I don't think I do. I think if my opponent takes the Vacheron, I'm okay. That's why I put Vacheron in the deck. Vacheron Future Perfect. I should probably be writing down which cards I DBS. Oh yeah, they're trying to go for the 5-3, which makes total sense. They did not get it though, which is bad luck. Do I care more about Scorched or Hedge Fund here? Scorched does seem better. Okay, so we need to get to their number of credits plus 6. Which could happen. Though, with putting the hedge fund on the bottom, it's looking a little less likely. Oh, trash this, come on. I mean, it's not actually a threat, so you don't have to trash it. The archive memorized HHN term look more real. Okay. So we put Hades back on the bottom. I think I just click for credits. Oh, no, I can't mid-seasons here. So I would boost it to Trace. I would pay in 5 to get a Trace 7, and we would both go down to 0, which probably does not quite work for me. I mean, yeah. I didn't know I was going to draw the boom. I guess I could have known. Yeah, if I had taken the hedge fund, we actually just kind of win. Okay. R&D has like all of the points in it, I think. I guess DBS means we get to just keep bottoming them. I will rose the slot machine here because it's now going to make some economic difference and the endurance will run out. We only have 9 turns to win here. We don't have that many grinding tools left. Yeah, taking the hedge maybe wins me this game. Yeah, also not having the temple has cost me a good chunk of credits this game. I've got 0 recursion, so there's no point to I guess at some point I'll overwrite this Lady Liberty probably. Oh, that's cute tech. Cyber Cypher just slicing through this R&D for me, for Armin. Yep, I think we're lost here. Because 4 credits to get through this server is not going to keep anything going. Maybe they don't run HQ. I mean, I actually think we know the order, and it's like, it's just going to be all agendas at the bottom here. So we actually will have some time to get things going. I still don't have any triggers I want to go on. Moomba Temple is fine. Oof. Oh, you know what? Next time I draw an agenda, I just put it behind a tour guide. I just go something like mess in the chest of a tour guide, like install advance or something. Do I care about losing one? Oh, losing the echelon's a big deal. Do I care about this? Oh, I guess I can do this, and then... Yeah, because I don't have anything else I'm resing this turn. And this does eventually give me some money leverage on the SIU. It makes it 2 credits cheaper. And Afshar is relevant again. I access Boom from HQ. Are they going to trash it and take a tag? Actually, I don't think they can trash it, because I think I just res Zealous Judge. Wait, hold on. I think I have to res this here. Well, I guess I don't have a kill. So actually this is incorrect. Yeah, man, not taking the hedge fund is a disaster here. You did know, he did know this card. He had seen this card. Oh, it's clicking a credit, so I really can't. I'm not threatening much of anything yet. I forgot that it costs a credit. But if I top deck an agenda, I can drudge work, put it back away, and then click twice, I think is probably my play. Though we also mentioned just slamming something in server 5 as a pretty reasonable play. I don't mind shuffling agendas, I think. Maybe I do. Yeah. I guess, yeah, just getting the 2 tags is all I'm looking to do. And then I can score anything. Whoa! That's like the one action I think you cannot take. How many agendas are in R&D now? I think all of them. I guess I can put this Mosfingo back. I think I actually have to do this just to get the credits. And then we're going to go give the owner a tag. Give the owner a tag. Shipment play costs us 1 credit. So we can credit, install, shipment something. I guess would be a credit short, so... yeah. This is definitely getting a little bit hairy. So, what do we have left? We have an NHPD and a Future Perfect and a Hades. And something else. No, that's it. That's all of our agendas, right? We're only running 6 agendas and half of them are in our score area. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna chisel Afshar. That's great. That I do not mind. Runner losing credits is really what I want here. Because if they don't just win, then I get to also... Yeah, I guess Armor's thinking he can just do credit denial, which, like, he kind of can. But it also kind of can't. Event resource program. Ugh. Yeah, I guess the shipment does tell him he can't. It's a little bit trickier. Finality just wins the game. That's definitely something. Yep, that's unfortunate. The NAPD still can't be stolen, so it's just the Hades fragment. So actually this is the best time to draw the Hades fragment because I can just put that on the bottom. Okay, this I can leave in my hand. I think I just click for 3 credit. Nope, hold on. Hold on. I just win. Just want to make sure, but... Okay, snuck out a win after missing the hedge fund. Oof. Yeah, I think like there's also because there's nothing I can do against that. So okay, we've played against the person playing Endurance. We played against the person playing Amakua. And those were our 2 close games, because those cards are wild, and they really blank the little bit of ice I can run. Okay, so we gotta go and do the other side now. And I think that means I'm locked for first in most outcomes, but let's see if we can go undefeated. Be interested to see what Armor. Oh, and crowdfunding as the third runner. Yes. This seems like a decent starting hand, where I can go bop, 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 bop. Yeah, I just have lots of starts. And the thing is, like, I don't have to worry about the corp getting a lot of momentum from early scores, which I think is a bit of a difficulty in the format. Like, I don't know what cards you need to include for the corp to make that a threat. Let's see. We'll throw out the... You know what? I actually don't think I need Day Job. Okay, Jinja is an annoying threat for my game plan, but apparently not enough. The thing I don't like about this Jinja I think honestly you always need to install your first ice over the Jinja. Tough. Yeah, this is terrible. After they missed a Vacheron in HQ like 3 times in a row, and they miss on 3 draws on a Jinja. Oh, okay. So I mean, first we run HQ. We'll let the unbroken subroutines fire. And I think we're gonna go John Masamori, click the telework, and then let's just go get rid of this. We can also now Gauss Doof whenever we want. Pretty good. It's 3 clicks, 3 credits, 4 credits to deny 5. So we only go +1 credit for 3 clicks on the whole turn. Which is definitely not ideal. So we're going to draw. We're going to install a Gorman Drip. We're going to remember that running archives is the same thing as drawing, but it doesn't actually matter yet. I think I want to save the doof for when they actually go to make a play. Because again, there's no pressure on us to do anything here. Like, I guess they've seen 7 plus another 4, so 11 times. Okay, breaking news, sure. This does seem like now I can maybe go for the doof. Now that I have the Gorman Drip out, it's a little bit better. Oh, what a draw, though. Ooh, send messages. Well, no, it's probably good. Oh, yep, that's great. That's good. That's the best thing they could have raised. Just means that I get to throw down Yogg and be quite happy. Armin's gonna have to click for credits here. Woof. Oh, I guess they don't. I guess he does not. So I will just run and trash this. I actually have to. Gain a credit. Gain a credit. Let's run HQ while we have it open for free. Okay, so we're gonna see a click for a credit here. Oh, and a click to draw. Very nice. Okay, we can run HQ. Fully break. See an exchange. Okay. So we're gonna just make a bunch of money all of a sudden for absolutely no reason. I think we're gonna discard this fort. Alright, so Armin's playing big money. We get to play Rizeki, though. So I'm going to run a little bit less so I don't get this send a message exchanged on me because I don't have the public trail or the C source, I think, or maybe I have one or the other. Oh, I have my corp deck up and no one's yelled at me yet. Do some shifting. I don't think this is an agenda. I'm gonna draw. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, that's pretty good. So we will look for the credit here. There's some permutations of this board state that definitely goes sour, but I think we're going to start applying some pressure again. Okay, so I think what I do is I go Faust, run HQ. Oops. Fully break resistor. Hunter Seeker. Okay, okay. We're going to draw, and we're going to run server 4. Okay. We will sucker, Holy Break, Mitsubaku. Suzano, so we will give it -2. We will trash an MK. We will trash a Bassi. We will break a thing with a Mongoose. Yeah, I mean, like, even though I just have Mayfly, isn't this play just dead? Oh, okay. It's not dead. Not dead at all. Interesting. Yeah, but who needs killers? We've got Yogg. We're gonna say goodbye to our Fractor in a second. Okay, now we get to run HQ for free. Okay, now we can definitely get rid of our the next turn I can overinstall and start running R&D. Click to draw. Doesn't make me want to go in, so maybe we're going to go like run, install Yogg, run R&D. Oh, you're right. I don't even need to overinstall anymore. Yep. I just completely forgot. Nope, Yogg is 1 MU because it was an FFG card before they knew how to before anyone knew how to balance Netrunner. Hunter Seeker is definitely annoying. Doesn't make sense to run Hunter Seeker with Hunter Message, but maybe it was just the best option they had, or he had. Okay. We will not install this from the heap. This is strength 6. I can make it strength 2 and then break its 1 subroutine. Sure. So I paid a card to get in, I guess. I also paid a lot of data cipher counters, but no snare one time. Okay. So we're gonna get Hunter Seeker here, and then I just get to reclaim whatever card gets Hunter Seeker right back. And then we also have Levy, I guess. We trash the Gauss if he goes after the Desperado, because we'll be fine. Yeah, they actually don't have a good Hunter Seeker target. Like, I actually think this Yogg, basically, it's a good. I'm probably not running R&D again for quite a while, right? Like, Faust is definitely the best one, just so that you can eventually score out of the remote, but it's not trivial either. Like, Desperado I actually kind of like as the option, I think. Let's pull up Hunter Seeker. Yeah, just trash 1 card. So I think Desperado is actually the card you trash here. I think pretty convincingly. I lose Gauss. And then I'm just going to lose some value over the course of the game. Now, there's no way to know that I happen to have the reclaim. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like, Armin doesn't know. Like, there is no, as we talk, there's basically no good trash. Desperado's the best one, but not by a long, not by like a super wide margin. this Rozeki drip every turn. It's turn 12 when I install Rozeki. Well, on turn 7, so it's actually not paid off really yet, but it probably does imply agendas in HQ. I feel a little bad for Armin. He's just gotten quite unlucky many times today. Against me, at least. That's a scary one. Is this like clicking for a future credit? Oh, okay, that's GG. GG. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, at one agenda point I can do a lot. I don't have to play that worried. Oh, Prysac Batty. What a server. Yeah, I guess maybe Marcus Batty Rig Shooter like is totally a thing you can do, and I just happen to have gotten the Levy and the Reclaim, so it couldn't work. Yeah, maybe. But cool. Well, undefeated. But you know, for all my complaining about the format, I had a good time, right? These were fun games. My runner was just a nuts set of cards. I forget exactly where I wish I had recorded the draft itself so we could have seen when I got Desperado, because boy, that was exciting. Let's see what's left in this deck. It's like, oh yeah, Hippo and Bravado, nice cards. Probably the only card I didn't bother to install here. Yeah, no. I mean, that's all I know how to do is complain. And yet, I'm honestly a happy person most of the time, so I guess I'm just a grump. I'm a grump who's happy. I don't know. Cool. So, thank you everyone for watching. Huge thank you to Ixaron for not just putting this draft together, but putting these whole cubes together. I will, well, never even made Turbo. I didn't actually think I was ever going to make Turbo Yawn. It's just not needed most of the time. Like, it's maybe, we can actually, you know what, let's go and look at, let me go and see if I can find my, give me 1 second. I'm going to go and see if I can find the actual cards I drafted. So let's go get those. Okay, so what I need to do is copy my login info. This one. Oh, we're going to go to the intro screen for just a second so I can log myself in without doxing myself. Great. Fantastic. Okay. So these were my decks. This is what I drafted. So we can think about what I could have done better. So this, I've included all of the starters. So I grabbed a somewhat early Helheim servers because I was like, this is a way for the Corp to do something kind of unfair, but at a pretty large cost. I drafted only 12 assets. I think this is the only asset. These were the 2 assets I didn't play. In retrospect, I probably should have included 1 private contracts and 1 fewer ice, because if I res this for only 1 credit, it's a more reasonable card. It's actually a pretty reasonable card. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. After one turn of using it, it's paid itself off. I'm resting it for one. Let's see. I ran all of these. I didn't run the Rainbow, which was not drafted. That was one of the given cards. I didn't run the Chiashi. I ran both of these. Like, I could prop the Conundrum I didn't run, but I guess technically would have been okay. No, it wouldn't have been. Basiliska probably could have been a cut. I don't know how you're supposed to make peak efficiency work. The card wasn't written standard. I can't imagine it's going to be. I guess click for 3 in the mid-game is sometimes relevant, but the special reports I think also could have been cut. I played it once and it was actually a mistake. So I didn't play the public trail, but you can argue to make for it. Quite poor. I drafted actually a lot of agendas, so Eden Fragment got given to me, Hades Fragment gets given, but I drafted NAPD, Off-World Office, Orbital Superiority is given, Show of Force I drafted, Superconducting Hub is given. So yeah, I don't know. I could see cutting the, like, probably want to make the slot for private contracts, and could probably make an argument for finding a slot for public trail, just to like let Zealous Judge get rezzed, and just to drain 8. I think that's pretty reasonable. Runner side, I just played all of these. I didn't play Reprise. I feel bad about that. Didn't play. I think this was just a denial pick. All Nighter I could have actually played, but I don't think like it's maybe better than Turbine technically. I didn't play No One Home because I was the only one on it, or I figured I was the only one on real tags. Yeah, none of these cards feel like they're calling out to me as missing from my deck. Like Mayfly maybe should have gone in the deck, and I could have cut something else, but like cut the Abassi or something. I don't know. Anyway, these were my draft decks. These are the cards I drafted, plus the boosters, which for runner side is Armitage, 1 Sure Gamble, a Pipeline, almost said a Gauss, an Aurora, and a Force of Nature, which I didn't think I even bothered to type in here because I was like, I'm not running a Force of Nature, a Mayfly. I think that's it. Anyway, but yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a fun 3 hours. Next time I draft, I'll try and draft the actual drafting process. I didn't, partly because I didn't feel like everyone was in a call, so I would have to be out of the call talking to the stream, which was a little bit different than what I maybe wanted to do. So thanks everyone, and I'll see y'all on Thursday or Wednesday. So yeah, have a good night. Bye.